So that's just a little bit about the actual surgery. Let me tell you a little bit about myself, where I come from, where I came from. I was born and raised in Washington, D.C. All right. Some of you may have been to D.C. before. Everybody knows the Washington Monument. That's up on the right side. Everybody knows the Capitol. That's on the lower left picture. Does anybody know what that building is on the upper left? You shouldn't. That's a school that I went to. That's my elementary school. And the funny part about it is the name of that elementary school was Thompson Elementary. I have no relation to the people that named that school or who it was named after. It just happened to be my same name. So Thompson Elementary. And the picture on the lower right side is where I grew up. This is the house that I was born in and I was raised in. It was me, my brother, my parents, and I'm also showing my next door neighbor. We didn't talk to them too much. They were kind of crazy, but you know, this is where I come from. Next slide, please. Oh, I'm sorry. Can we go back to the other slide? So whenever you think about DC, you can't help but think about Biden and Kamala now, right? You can't help but think about Obama. Some of you may have heard this term Chocolate City. They call DC Chocolate City because it has the largest amount percentage-wise of Black people for any major city in the country. So they call it Chocolate City. And I'm very proud to be from Chocolate City. Next slide, please. When I was around 10 or 11 years old, I moved to Durham, North Carolina, which is a lot different than the city, a lot different than Washington, D.C., certainly a lot different than Brooklyn, right? Some of you may know Durham because that's where Duke is. That's where, you know, the big basketball program, Duke. You see Zion Williamson there. But some of you may not know this woman on the left side, the furthest left picture. That's Dr. Kizzmekia Corbett. And she's leading the war on finding a vaccine for COVID for NIH, for the government. So some of you may have seen when Trump and his staff go to visit Fauci and go to visit the actual laboratories where the vaccine is being worked on, this young woman, Dr. Kizzmekia Corbett, and to be honest, I think she's only, you know, she's like 31, 32 years old. So she's very young. But this is a person who looks like me, who looks like you, leading the world on fighting this this COVID epidemic or pandemic. So she's very, even though she's younger than me, she's very inspiring for me, and she makes me want to work harder and want to do better. The other pictures on the right is when I was in high school. That's my high school, Hillside High. I played ball. And the picture on the lower side, I think I was in 8th grade. So around you guys' age, that's me and my mother.